Hey there, let's take a look at what are components. So if you would open up any electronic device, you would see circuits like these, or even more complicated ones. Now, if you take a look at the circuit themselves, you would see components. These individual pieces, or the building blocks of a circuit, is something that we call components. Here you can see some components by themselves. Now, we will learn all about these in a bit later. However, let's first look at what is a circuit and how do we build one, just so we can take a look at components within the just so we can take a look at components within the context of a circuit. So if you take a look at any battery, you will see two terminals, a plus and a minus. The batteries themselves can be different shapes and sizes, even different voltages, but you would see that both these have plus and minus terminals, even small ones like these. You will at least see a plus sign on one end, and sometimes they show or don't show the minus sign. So when we talk about a circuit, what we mean, a wire coming from the negative terminal feeding into a consumer, which in our case can be just a small light bulb, and going back to the plus sign. This is what we call a simple circuit. A circuit can be closed, like the one I just drew, or it can be opened. So if I draw an open circuit, that just means that from the minus, I go to the light bulb. However, I don't connect the light bulb to the plus yet. This open space right here means that the electrons cannot travel all the way back. This is a closed circuit. This is an open circuit. In here, you can already see a few components. One is the battery, the other is the wire, and the other one is the light bulb. It's important to know the differences between an open circuit, where there's a gap, and a closed circuit. Now you can see the light bulb is lit up here, and of course it's not lit up here. So let's demonstrate that. I have something called an LED here. It's a little bit more complicated than the light bulb, but we'll talk about that later. It does function as a light bulb as well, so let's demonstrate that. This right here is the battery. This is a small battery with a plus sign on this end and a minus sign on that end. The LED has two legs, a long leg and a short leg. So I'm going to connect the long leg to the plus sign. And you can see nothing really happens for now. But as soon, because this is an open circuit as it stands right now. But if I close this circuit, the LED will light up. Open and closed. If I adjust the light, you see the difference. Open and closed. So when we talk about components as the building blocks of circuits, this is what we mean by a circuit. Now let's draw some circuits of our own and head on to the next lesson.